1935, he finally got a break. There was a group there in Hoboken called the Hoboken Trio, and they invited Frank to come and join them. So they became the Hoboken Four. They were pretty good. In fact, they won the Radio Amateur Hour show and were given a 6-month contract, and they toured all up and down the East Coast and part of the Midwest. It was great exposure for Frank. But he certainly wasn't satisfied. He quit the Hoboken Four, got a couple of other odd jobs. By the way, his mother doted on Frank. She even took some part-time work as a clerk in order to buy Frank the nice clothes that he liked and to give him spending money to run around with his friends. Frank had expensive taste from the very beginning. But in 1939, the Harry James Orchestra discovered Frank. He signed a contract with Harry James and made his very first recording. It was called From the Bottom of My Heart. And later, he released All or Nothing at All. Neither of these songs did very well. They did showcase his style and his great voice, but they didn't sell records very much. But just a little less than a year later, Tommy Dorsey called Frank and said, "Look, my lead singer has come down with chronic laryngitis. He's going to have to retire. I think you're just the man to replace him." So he talked Harry James into letting him out of the contract, and his career took off. He made over 40 records that year. I'll Never Smile Again topped the charts for 12 weeks in a row. He appealed to Bobby Soxers, that's what they called young teenage girls at that time. Up until that time, recorded music was mostly made for adults. But all of a sudden, teens were the big audience. I'm going to do another song for you now. It's one that I dearly love. It's one that you'll like too. It's something that Frank recorded in 1965. Sing along with me on That's Life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, but you're shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that too. When I'm back on top in June, that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks just stomping on my dreams. But I won't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world just keeps on spinning round. I've been a puppet, a pirate, a poet, a pauper, a pawn, and a king. And I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. That's life, and I can't deny it. Well, I've thought of quitting, honey. Oh, but my heart just won't buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd climb aboard that big bird and I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pirate, a poet, a pauper, a pawn, and a king. And I've been up and down and over and out, and I know lots of things. And each time I find myself laying flat down on my face, I pick myself up and get back in that race. That's life. That's life, and I can't deny it. Well, I've got to cut it out, baby. Woo! But my heart just won't buy it. And if there's nothing shaking come this next July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a great big ball. Yeah. My, whoa, my, that's life.